Welcome back, guys. So this is the new show that started on Starlife called Complicated Love. So the movie is actually a rich star for those who follow in India, and also the season two, I think season one of the show was Not Without My Family that aired on Starlife, which is about their parents' story. But turns out that they did really cut their parents' story, and now they are just going to their children, which I think is actually great because at least it makes us focus only on these ones and instead of backstory. So guys, without wasting any of your time, don't forget to subscribe because you have not subscribed to the channel. This is the full story summary of the show, meaning everything that will be aired on this show, all the details about the show will be here. And this will be from the beginning of where we are currently to when obviously their own story will end before next generation. So let us start the video of today.
12 years pass, and life has taken very different directions for the three central characters. Akshara grows into a well known singer, someone who not only performs but also uses music as a form of therapy, helping others heal emotionally. Her personality becomes softer but stronger at the same time, someone who carries pain quietly but transforms it into something meaningful. Meanwhile, Dr. Abhimanyu Burla establishes himself as a dedicated and skilled surgeon. His life is structured, intense, and deeply tied to responsibility. Arohi, on the other hand, fulfills her ambition of becoming a doctor as well, and in the process of working closely with Abhimanyu, she develops feelings for him. However, despite Arohi's feelings, the emotional bond between Akshara and Abhimanyu becomes undeniable. Their love grows naturally, built on shared understanding and emotional connection. When Arohi discovers their relationship, it becomes a turning point for her. Instead of continuing in a one-sided situation, she chooses to step away. She breaks off her engagement with Abhimanyu and redirects her focus toward her career, deciding to move forward on her own terms. After facing several misunderstandings, emotional conflicts, and family pressures, Akshara and Abhimanyu finally manage to come together and get married. But their happiness is soon complicated by family revelations. It comes to light that Neil, who is known as Abhimanyu's half-brother, is actually Harshavardhan's son from an extramarital relationship. Manjari had brought Neil into the family through adoption, raising him with love, so he would never feel like an outsider. At the same time, another major conflict unfolds when Abhimanyu's cousin Anisha is set to marry Kairav. Just before the wedding, Kairav discovers that Anisha has been involved with a married man. Terrified that her truth will be exposed, Anisha threatens suicide. In the chaos that follows, she falls to her death. The situation spirals quickly, and Kairav is wrongfully blamed for her death. This accusation creates a deep strain between Akshara and Abhimanyu, as trust begins to break down under pressure. A year later, Akshara and Kairav are living away from everything in Mauritius, trying to escape the weight of the past. Eventually, they return to India, where the truth finally comes out and Kairav is proven innocent. This clears a major misunderstanding, allowing Akshara and Abhimanyu to reconnect and reconcile. During this period, Neil and Arohi grow closer. Their relationship develops steadily, and despite initial differences, they eventually resolve their issues and get married. Life seems to be stabilizing again as both Akshara and Arohi become pregnant, bringing a sense of hope into the family. But tragedy strikes again. Akshara and Neil get caught in a dangerous situation while trying to rescue some girls from goons. In the process, Neil loses his life. At the same time, Akshara is led to believe that she has also lost her unborn child. The emotional fallout is devastating. Arohi, already grieving Neil, directs her anger toward Akshara, blaming her for being the common factor in multiple tragedies. The rest of the Burla family, including Abhimanyu, also hold Akshara responsible for Neil's death and the supposed miscarriage. Unable to cope with the grief and blame, Abhimanyu divorces Akshara and completely cuts her out of his life. Isolated and broken, Akshara decides to leave everything behind. During this period, she is involved in a bus accident. It is only afterward that she discovers the truth. She is still pregnant, and one of her twins has survived. When she tries to tell Abhimanyu, he refuses to listen. At this critical moment, Abhinav steps in to support her. He stands by her when no one else does and eventually marries her, not out of romance initially, but to give her and the child stability and protection. 6 years later, Akshara is living a quiet life in Kasali with her son Abir and Abhinav. Their life is simple but emotionally stable. Akshara begins to genuinely move forward with Abhinav, building a life rooted in peace rather than chaos. At the same time, Abhimanyu has taken on a different responsibility. He becomes a father figure to Arohi's daughter, Rui, stepping into a nurturing role even though his own emotional life remains unresolved. He still carries feelings for Akshara even after all these years. Elsewhere, Kara finds love with Muskin and the two get married, bringing some happiness back into the extended family. Akshara and Arohi also begin to repair their fractured relationship, slowly rebuilding trust after years of pain. The truth about Abir eventually comes out. Abhimanyu learns that Abir is his biological son. This revelation shifts everything again. Not long after, another tragedy occurs when Abhinav dies after falling off a cliff on his birthday. Initially, suspicion falls on Abhimanyu, but it is later confirmed to be an accident. Abir struggles deeply with Abhinav's death, falling into depression. For his sake, Akshara and Abhimanyu decide to reunite and remarry, hoping to create stability for him. However, just as things begin to move forward, another revelation surfaces. Akshara is pregnant with Abhinav's child. Around the same time, Arohi dies due to a mistake involving Rui. To protect Rui from emotional trauma and guilt, Akshara takes the blame for what happened. This decision creates a new rift as Rui begins to hate Akshara, believing her responsible for her mother's death. Seeing the emotional damage, Akshara once again chooses to step away, this time for Rui's sake. Abhimanyu, unwilling to let her face everything alone, decides to leave with her and cut ties with the rest of the family. However, just when it seems like they might finally find peace together, tragedy strikes one last time. On the day of their wedding, Abhimanyu and Abir lose their lives in a landslide accident, bringing a devastating end to their journey.